to Tea Chat with the Tea Goddess. I'm your host, Michele Sorensen. Tea Chat is about sharing the lives of ordinary people doing extraordinary things that impact our community, one teacup at a time. And today, my special guest is Kazusa Flanagan. I like to call you Kaz. We've been friends long enough where I can call you Kaz. So welcome. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Well, before we get started, let's share a pot of tea. And what I like to do is I like to choose a flavor that reminds me of my guest. And this is mango mist. So mango mist is a black tea with mango and lime leaves and a lot of aloha. And that's what you are. There you go. And there's some sugar if you want some sugar as well. So, how do you like that? Smell good?
It smells so good. Wow. I love mango.
Good.
Is it mango mint or mango mist?
Mango mist. So. Okay, well, there's a little bit of background on Kaz. Kaz came to Hawaii in 1992. She left Sendai, Japan, and she bravely came to Hawaii, I would say, because leaving your home country and coming to someplace that's culture is so totally different, I'm sure that it was quite a challenge for you. Also, Kaz has left a great legacy for Hawaii, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But you've been here for 25 years now. You've made Hawaii your home, and you have a wonderful partner, Paul, very supportive. Kaz is also a cancer survivor. She had breast cancer in 2009. Was it 2009? And you're in remission now and doing wonderful. We also did a fundraiser together, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And that was for the Great Eastern Japan earthquake in Tohuku. And that was an amazing event that we were able to pull off together. And you're also certified yoga instructor.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get started, so when you left Japan to come to Hawaii, I mean, what brought you here to the islands?
Well, international marriage. Yeah, I married to an American man. He is from Wisconsin, so not from Hawaii, but we met in Hawaii. So it lasted about 5 years, and now I am with another man.
Yes.
But we're not technically married, but we've been together for 20 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paul's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a
Very,
really nice
very
guy.
supportive.
Yep.
Running his marathons. Yes.
It was till last year.
Oh.
I don't think this year. Yeah, he's not gonna run this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's been really busy.
Okay. And he's in Japan right now, touring around in Japan with his friends.
Without me.
Yeah. Is he pretty familiar with Japan?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
He's been there a few times, but I don't know how capable. He,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, without me,
Right,
especially. But he's having fun. So.
Oh, well, that's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Well, Kaz and I met in 1995. And you were working with a hula group, people from Japan that had a hula shop.
Yeah.
And then you were repping different, you were looking for local vendors. And in my previous life, I was also a clothing designer, and I had, you picked up my clothing line.
Yeah.
And so I was able to sell that in Japan, and we were keeping that line going for a while. We can pull up one of the pictures. There's a cute little picture of a little baby.
Ah.
When we were working together, we were closely working together, then I just remember one day you came up to me and you said, Michele, I'm going to do something new. And I said, okay, what's that? And you said that you are going to manage this guy that's an ukulele player. And I was like, oh, okay. So that ukulele player is Jack Shimaburkuru. And Kaz is responsible for making Jack Shimaburkuru who he is today. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that relationship and how you first met?
Okay, so when I met you, and I was helping my friends who owned a hula shop in Japan, right? So they wanted to learn how to play ukulele. So they were like, okay, so do you know anyone who can teach us while we are in Hawaii? It's just a short time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I had a friend who actually he's Ozzy Kotani. He's a very special slacky guitar player in Hawaii. So I asked Ozzy, so hey, do you know any ukulele player who can teach Japanese people but don't speak English? And he's like, oh, I think I know, perfect guy. His name is Jake. You know Jake, from Pure Heart. I'm like, oh yeah, is he teaching? What? So actually that time he just, it was between Pure Heart and the second band. So he was taking a little bit of break that time from his performing career. And he was teaching that time.
Yes.
So timing was right. So Ozzy gave me his telephone number, and then I called Jake. So I have friends here, Hawaii, and they like to learn how to play ukulele. So he's like, "Oh yeah, come to my house."
Yeah.
So he just invited us to his little apartment. He was living in a little apartment that time with his rabbit.
Oh.
Yeah. So
What was the rabbit's name? Do you remember?
oh, I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah. But okay, so we went to his apartment, and then Jake kindly taught my friend how to play ukulele. We did that, I don't know, like twice or three times.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how actually Jake and I met in the first time officially. Although I saw his performance here and there, right? And then we became friends, and then my friends in Japan, they had kind of a Hawaiian shows here and there, so they wanted to invite Jake to Japan.
Yes.
So that's how we started, traveling together to Japan.
Okay.
Even before I, start working Jake. So we did that a couple times, before I, officially started working for Jake. But after Pure Heart, he became a part of another band called Cologne. So that was a group, so 4 guys in the band. But Jake, I think Jake or his producer at the time asked me to be a manager for them. So, okay, I don't know anything about, being a manager, but I can do, whatever.
Yeah.
I can do. And then I started working for them, managing 4, boys in the band. It was like kind of a chaos, but, and then about a year and a half later, the band disbanded. And we had a meeting, and then Jake wanted to pursue his career, solo career, and Jake asked me to stay with him and then help him. So I said okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
And
So
you
that's
helped.
our, I guess, official journey. Working together.
Yeah. But you traveled to Japan quite a bit.
With Jake.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Jake was really popular in Hawaii, of course. But other than Hawaii, of course, people love Hawaii or love ukulele. Hawaiian music. Kind of started knowing there's a phenomenal ukulele player coming out, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't really. He was part of. He was a part of band, so. It was kind of difficult to, I guess, promote, him as a Jack Shimaburkuru as a, ukulele, performer,
yeah.
because he was a part of the band, and he was active in Hawaii, but other than Hawaii, he wasn't. So we decided to go to Japan together because, a couple of reasons. Of course, I'm from Japan,
Right.
and that time, Japan actually started picking up another era of like Hawaiian boom, almost. Anything about Hawaii, they was like, oh my gosh, I love this, I love that. And then, of course, people love music, started paying attention what's going on in Hawaii, right? The
Yes.
musicians and ukulele and hula and, all kinds of stuff. And of course, Jake is so phenomenal. And then, people just talking about, him that
Yes.
time. So we decided to go to Japan, and we had a kind of a, I don't know, showcase, inviting all the record companies, people. And we did kind of a, I guess, okay, so this is Jack Shimaburkuru, so if you want to sign him up, we are here, the kind of a show.
Yes.
And right next day, Sony Music Japan,
Yes.
invited us to their office.
Amazing.
And sign him up.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I love his piano concerto.
Mm.
It's amazing on the ukulele.
Mhm.
It's just, his
know.
music is very soothing.
Mm-hmm.
And and then you left Jake.
Mm-hmm.
You had gotten breast cancer,
Yeah. I got
and so that was a
diagnosed
bit of a
in
struggle.
2009.
Yes.
Mm.
And how was that journey?
Well, it was pretty interesting journey, actually. I was so busy, right? Busy with Jake. We traveled all over, literally, like, to Europe and to Asia, to Australia, and, Brazil, all kinds of places. And then I didn't, well, Jake too, but, we didn't have any personal life. And I guess, my age too, that, the food was really bad because we had to eat at the airport or, at the bar venues and restaurants, and eating time is so different from a normal eating time, and,
Yeah.
Sleeping time. That was so,
Yeah, I can only imagine.
yeah, because we're traveling, for example, like, we're in California, then tomorrow we're going to be in, East Coast, or very next day we're going to be in probably, I don't know, Brazil. Yeah, so that was a pretty interesting journey for me. That time I was so busy with, traveling with Jake all over the world, and the food was bad, and sleeping schedule was really off, and
But you've really changed your lifestyle has changed. Your eating habits have changed. I know you've shared with me some of your things that you're doing health-wise, and you are, I'm so happy.
yeah,
And you just, everything's, your hair has grown back, and you look great. You look
Yeah.
healthy, which is, I'm very, very blessed that, you made that through and that you've been in remission for as long as you have been. But let's talk about kind of what happened when we got together on the Tohuku fundraiser.
Yeah.
And that kind of happened when just one day I had mentioned to you that, hey, I've got this place, and then you had this singer that was trying to connect with you in New York, who was originally from Japan, wanted to come to Hawaii, was willing to donate his time if we wanted to put some sort of a concert together.
Yeah.
And so the two of us, we got together, and we had no idea what we were doing. we decided to do Rainbow for Japan Kids. And it was the children that were negatively impacted by the tsunami in Tohuku, Japan. And it was an amazing thing that we were able to work together and do. And the first year that we had put the program together, the concert together, we had raised over $21,000. And we had no idea really what we were doing.
Yeah.
The 2 years later, we did $42,000.
Yep.
And that was pretty amazing. But why don't you talk to us, because what we did is we basically, and 100% of the proceeds went to the organization, which was amazing because everybody had donated everything, and we were able to get everyone to donate everything. Talk a little bit about what I found interesting was the marketing side. The local Japanese community had really been extremely supportive in this event. And so talk a little bit about your feelings on the fundraiser and how it went.
Yeah, it was amazing. Of course, you know, that tsunami incident was so huge, and that everybody, you know, not, you know, even though you're not from that area, you know, they're so, I guess, affected, you know, emotionally, everything. So, especially people living in Hawaii, you know, so close to Japan, but we're here, not there.
Yes.
And we can't really do anything, you know. Well, of course, we can send, you know, like stuff to them and, you know, like calling them and then asking them how they're doing, that kind of stuff. But other than that, you know, we can't really do anything. So I'm sure, you know, it's been 5-6 years already, you know, from the incident. But I'm sure so many people, or everybody, you know, everybody probably still feel that, you know, I want to do something more, right? So I wanted to provide opportunity for them to be able to do something, you know, for them, you know, while they're in Hawaii. So, you know, I kind of wanted to remind them that, you know, okay, so it's been 5 or 6 years already, but you're still kind of you know, thinking about them, right?
They
you
still
want to
need
do
assistance.
something, right? So when was the last time you did something for them? You know, that kind of almost like a forcing them actually to express their feeling, you know, towards affected people in Japan.
Well, one of the things that when we put the first event on and we were kind of scared about the ticket prices and what we were going to charge, and there was no problem with we did a tea service. We charged $125 for the afternoon concert. That was very, very well attended. The evening concert was $150. We also got Junko and Cindy from, Junko is now in San Francisco. She was a pop star. Oh, LA. Yeah. She's a pop star. Was a very popular pop star singer in Japan, and so is Cindy. So quite a few of the Japanese knew and knew of them and still follow them today. So when they found out that we were putting on the concert and they were attending, the local Japanese community from Japan living here in the islands were extremely supportive and very, very generous both times that the concert had gone on. And people even came, you promoted it in Japan because you kept getting on to me, Michele, we have to do this because I'm going to Japan and I've got to get all this information out and we need to do this. And you did a great job promoting it in Japan because we even had people from Japan come for the fundraiser, which was very humbling.
I know.
And we were both, I think, ecstatic when we had found out the numbers afterwards. And we touched none of the money. All of the money went to the third party. They did all of the money, the funding, which was great. And we've got everything donated. Even the piano player, the grand piano player, was going to charge us, I think, $500. And then he was there and he was watching and was hearing what we were doing. And then he decided, okay, you don't have to pay me.
I know.
Even the piano tuner, too, because he was like, oh, no, it's okay. He was only like $150, but he was like, no, that's okay. You know, you guys don't have to do, you know. There was just a couple of,
amazing.
I don't know, did we pay for the tent? I can't remember.
Yeah, we pay for
We
the
pay,
tent.
we pay for the tent?
Yes.
Okay, we pay for the tent, we pay for the
Tent
valet.
and the valet.
That was
Yeah,
it.
that
And
was
everybody
it.
else, the food, the liquor, the everything.
Everything.
I mean, the music, I mean, the technical equipment. It was,
And
it was
so
an
many
amazing.
businesses here, you know, donated on their, you know, products and gift certificates and all kinds of, and the musicians donated their CDs and, you know.
And it was a great time, a great event that everybody really, even the local people, there was quite a few local people that had come as well.
Yeah.
And that was an amazing, and I just remember how excited we were. We were just like, what? We did what?
I know.
You have to be kidding me. And but it was a lot of, it actually wasn't too difficult, because we were able to just kind of connect the dots. Different people that were good at doing different things.
Yeah.
And we asked, could you do this? You could do that. And everybody really came together and supported the organization.
Yeah, well, that's because, you know, Sandy and then Junko, you know, they're so popular, famous people. So, you know, of course, you know, people want to come in and listen to them, you know.
Yeah.
So that
And
was...
it was a very intimate setting as well.
Mhm.
So, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
kind of made it nice.
Mhm.
The second one was a little bit bigger.
Mhm.
How many did we have in the second one?
How many?
Yeah, attending. Well, we had 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days.
Because I came for the first part,
Mhm.
and then I had to leave.
Mhm.
My husband and I had to leave the next day
Yeah.
to, and so we left you to do all the
Yeah.
work. Sorry.
No,
But,
that's okay. Yeah. No, it's amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should
And
we do
was
it
long,
again?
though.
Oh yeah, no. You know what? Let's talk about when the kids came.
Kids?
So when the Rainbow for Japan kids
Yeah.
came over
Uh-huh.
this past summer, so what did they do?
Well,
Where'd you take
this-
them?
Well, actually, they kind of scaled down the help here because of the fund, kind of a lacking fund right now. So they used to invite kids, I think like 3 times a year, but now once a year, I think, I believe. But still, I was with them almost half time of their staying. And the last time they stayed here, like 10 days or so. So I kind of try to, participate their, activities as much as I could. And so what they do is they learn, of course, hula. They learn how to play ukulele. They even do, chanting, Hawaiian language. And of course, they do a little bit of shopping, but not too much. And they went to the Big Island. I think the Big Island, they could visit. What do you call it?
Volcano?
Sorry, I forgot the name of it. But facility that they're doing, like a sustainability, the program there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, the theme of the particular visit was sustainability lifestyle. So, yeah, they learn. I think the kids learned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked some of the testimonials that the kids had wrote about coming to the islands and people caring enough so far away to help them and to, support them. And how I forget, there was one, she wants to study in the United States, she wants to go to school in the U.S.
Yes.
And a lot of the kids were from not lower income, but I mean, needed funding to be able to take part in the organization.
Yeah, because they lost parents and house and just so sad.
Yeah.
So well, in that way, they became independent, and then they're mindset is a little different than a regular, I guess, happy children there. So they think more about human lives and what's important in your life. So that's kind of amazes me actually. Nowadays children in Japan are kind of spoiled a little bit. So whatever they don't like, then they just just say whatever. Kind of a childish, to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, people, the children affected by the tsunami, their mindset is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, more adult, I guess.
Wow. It was wonderful having you and chatting with you today.
Okay.
And thank you for joining me, and wishing you continued health and
Thank you.
best in all the future endeavors that you are doing. And thank you for joining us today. I've been chatting with Kazusa Flanagan, and I am Michele Sorensen, your host, the Tea Goddess. And thank you for joining us today. Aloha.